All right. I was going to surprise you. I brought my guitar. What are you laughing at? Think I can't sing, don't you? Well, I'm going to tell you something. I know I'm not very good at it. All right. We have a very talented guy in our audience. I want you to put your hands together for Kevin Weldon. Come on up here, Kevin.
Thank you, Bob. I love you, brother.
Have fun.
Man, awesome. Where am I from? I'm from a little bitty town in East Texas called Lufkin. We're not too far from Houston. So I'm not going to start talking, because if I do, I'll be here for 30 minutes and then Bob will kick me off before I even get a chance to sing my song. So just the Reader's Digest real quick. 1995, I signed a recording contract to Curb Records, and it was exactly 5 years from the day that I said I was going to get a record deal. So I learned the term unconscious competent talking to my consultant, and I don't know if he's here or not, but do what? Chris? Murray, are you here? Anyway, so Chris told me what an unconscious competent was. So when I started singing in 1990, I said, in 5 years, I'm going to get a record deal. I started in June of 1990. I signed to Curb Records in June of 1995, which was really cool. Had a couple of top 40 hits, lost my record deal, broke my heart, went home. And for 20 years, I've kept this pain. And I just realized a couple of nights ago that the passion for my performing is still here. And I didn't know what my C goal was when I left to come out here. But I realize now that my C goal is that I want to have a #1 hit on the country charts. And it gets better. It gets better, because that's kind of like a B goal. But the C goal is I want to win a Grammy, and I want to help promote what Bob is doing. I want to help promote this. I mean, people need to know that it's possible to reprogram your paradigm. There's a lot of people hurting. And the two songs that I chose have a lot of meaning to me. One of them is a song called "The Gospel According to Luke," and it's just about helping people. Okay. He was an old-handed living and making his way. He smelled like old whiskey and he needed a shave. And his home was an alley off 8th Avenue. If you had a minute or an hour or two, he'd tell you the gospel according to Luke. Luke carried his Bible in a Crown Royal bag, wiped off his brow with an old dirty rag. And he'd tell you straight out just the way he believed. Faith in the good Lord is all that you need. I remember the morning he first preached to me. He said, give to your brother if he is in need. Offer up thanks for the gifts we receive. 'Cause there's treasures in heaven for the generous few. That was the gospel according to Luke. So I bought him some breakfast at the Daylight Cafe. Biscuits and gravy, hot coffee and eggs. He was hungry and ragged, hadn't eaten for days. But I was the one there who felt out of place. When he folded his hands, bowed his head, and said grace. Well, a week ago Wednesday, I saw Luke again, downtown at the Mission, surrounded by friends, handing out all the change he collected that week, saying you boys might need this a lot more than me. See, I try hard to practice the words that I preach. He said, give to your brother if he is in need. Offer up thanks for the gifts we receive, 'cause there's treasures in heaven for the generous few. That was the gospel according to Luke. He was an old-handed living and making his way. He smelled like old whiskey and he needed a shave. And his home was an alley off 8th Avenue. But if you had a minute or an hour or two, he'd tell you the gospel according to Luke. You guys are awesome. Thanks. One more, and we're going to turn it back over to the man, to the master. Bob, I love you, brother. I know you know how big of a difference you've made in a lot of people's lives, you know, but what I've learned just over these last few months from really listening to you has changed everything. I was first introduced to Bob through The Secret in, I think, 2006. And it's funny, and I've told a lot of people this, Bob, but the line that made me laugh the most, that really made me remember who you are, and you may not like this, but, you know, Bob says, funny thing about electricity, it can cook your food, and it can cook the man. You remember that, Bob?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I did not see that coming. So, anyway, Bob, that made me never forget you, so... And since then, it's been a lot more than that. But one more for you. This is a song that when I first heard this on the radio, and I was on Curb Records with Tim McGraw, and I got to meet him at a party that we had with Curb. Very, very cool cat, the real deal. And when I heard this song, I fell in love with it for personal reasons, and I never told anybody how much it meant to me. And there's another day for the story behind why I feel the way I do. But my daughter, Ashley, reached out to me on Facebook, and she goes, Dad, have you heard the song? I'm like, yeah. She goes, Dad, you need to learn that. That's a great song. And I said, okay, you know. And then about a week goes by, and she reaches out, Dad, have you learned that song? Go do it live on Facebook. And I said, oh, yeah, okay. And I was thinking, I can't sing this song, you know. And she sent back about a week later. She goes, Dad, she goes, you need to learn that song because that song is you. And, dude, I mean, I'm like bawling like a baby, you know. And I thought about it, so I learned it for Ashley. I've got Sarah and Ashley, both my daughters, but I learned this song because Ashley asked me about 4 times to do it, and it's a song that has a lot of very personal meaning to me. It's a Tim McGraw. It's called "Humble and Kind." You know there's a light that shines by the front door. Don't forget the keys under the mat. Those childhood stars shine. Always stay humble and kind. Go to church 'cause your mama says to. Visit granddad every chance that you can. It won't be wasted time. Always stay humble and kind. And hold the door, say please and say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When those dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you've put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip. Here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. And know the difference in sleeping with someone. Oh, and sleeping with someone you love. I love you ain't no pickup line. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please and say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. Those dreams you're dreaming come to you when the work you put in is realized. Let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. When it's hot, eat a root beer popsicle. Shut off the AC and roll the windows down. Let that summer sun shine. Always stay humble and kind. Don't take for granted the love this life gives you. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around and help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind. And hold the door, say please and say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When those dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Always stay humble and kind. Always stay humble and kind. Thank you very much.
One more. One more.
Bob. So Bob Proctor said one more. I'm going to do one more. With a little bit of chicken fried, cold beer on a Friday night, pair of jeans that fit just right. I got the radio up, I seen the sunrise, seen the love in my woman's eyes, felt the touch of a precious child, and know a mother's love. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like a wind and a rain. Rock me, mama, like a Bob Proctor train. Hey, mama, rock me. Well, I'm up on the stage, I'm singing a tune. I can't believe I'm in the same room with Bob Proctor. Are you kidding me? Well, he is the reason for the change in my life. I'm gonna win a Grammy and I'll find me a wife. That's what I'm doing. That's my paradigm. Yeah, rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like a wind and a rain. Rock me, mama, like a matrix train. Hey, mama, rock me. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Thank you, Bob.
Keep it going.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. It's going to be a bright, bright, bright rest of my life. Sorry, Bob, that wasn't exactly one more, but it was three more turned into one. How's that?
That was great. That was great. That was super. That was great. You know, I'm just thinking, you're going to get a nice video out of this, Kevin. Can you guys do all the editing on that and everything by tomorrow? You got a deal? And then we'll give them a video. Good. And put it on YouTube. You know what Kevin was saying something happened and he lost it. He lost the dream. And then something happened and he's revived the dream. We want to make up our mind here right now that we're never going to lose the dream. Because when you lose the dream, you're losing your life. And then you're really not living, you're existing. You're putting in time. I could tell you stories over the last 50 years in this business that would really spoil your week. But I always kept going. And that's what you want to keep doing. You want to keep going. Now, I was watching Kevin, and I was watching the shots that they were taking on the screen, and I thought, maybe he didn't lose it at all. Maybe it was something you had to go through. Maybe it was part of the price you had to pay to get where you are. I mean, you look like an absolute star up there. You really do. And you certainly sound like one. You got all the parts put together. It was like Brian came and told me this morning. He said he had heard you. He said, Dad, you got to listen to this guy. He's a complete deal. And Kevin, you really are. I mean, that is really good. Now, I always talk about Phil Goldfine in the movies. I mean, that guy's got all kinds of movies. I'm going to see if Phil gets that, and I'm going to ask him to put you in a movie. And if I asked him, he'll put you in a movie. You know, no, I know he will. Now, I have helped Phil so much, and Phil's always trying to figure a way to help me. And I tell him, I said, just go help somebody else. I said, pass it on, keep it going. I said, you don't have to help me. I said, help somebody else. But I was sitting there and I was looking at it, and I think I'm going to send that to Phil and say, Phil, I want you to get this guy in a movie. Put him in a movie. And put him out there where a lot of people can see you. You know, I like watching The Voice. I just find it a good show to watch. And I think one of the reasons I like it, it doesn't matter what you look like, it's what you sound like. And they go about what they sound like. And you have all different kinds of personalities, but they've all got a good voice. You should be on The Voice. Because there's millions of people watch it. And it's the exposure you get. You're every bit as good as anybody that's won that. So, you know, I'm happy that you got this thing going in your head again because you want to keep it going. And you had Chris Murray. Chris Murray's a good guy. He's one of our great people. He just does a wonderful job. And I'm glad that Chris talked to you, and I'm glad that you're here. Now, what I want you to do, I want everybody now to start discussing the possibility of MSIs. I want you to discuss the possibility of MSIs. Now, if you haven't got any, you may be inclined to think, well, you really wouldn't be able to do this. Well, the truth is, yes, you would. Yes, you would. There's so many opportunities today. We are just inundated with opportunities. With the internet the way it is, with online, I mean, everything is... It used to be that maybe you'd rent a store at a corner and start a little business. You don't start a little business at a store in the corner now. You've got a world market sitting out there in front of you. And you have no idea what you're capable of doing. But I do know this, that everyone at this table, and that table, and that table, and that table, have different ideas coming into your mind. And when you start to hear what other people's dreams are and what they think of maybe setting up MSI, they're going to trigger ideas in your mind. Because you'll trigger ideas in your mind, you'll trigger them in your mind, and on it goes. And then we get going in a round-robin fashion. You're going to talk to everybody in the room before we're finished. And you're going to find that some absolute magic can happen. Now, what you want to do is when somebody's talking, think, how could I use that? How could I help them? How can I use that? How can I help them? Get it going both ways. Because there's ways that people here can help you a lot, and there's ways you can help people a lot. Okay? Everybody now start talking about this concept of multiple sources of income. How can you establish multiple sources of income? Okay?